We have a product called, I mean, obviously we have all the products that you guys are anticipating with, which is government, conventional, and jumbo. But aside from that, we have a product called AMP Community, which doesn't require any income documentation or any income employment information from the borrower. So as long as they have 20% down, they would be able to get a mortgage as long as they put the 20% down and they have a credit score of 640 or above. But it also qualifies them to buy a single family PUD and planned unit development. That's what PUD stands for. Condo and 2 to 4 unit properties. Something for you guys to know, that if the person says, I've gone to multiple different places, they can't give me a loan, just know that there's a home and we can probably place them in this particular program. And these are all high level stuff that I'm going to talk to you guys about. AMP possible. I feel like there's a lot of underserved communities in our markets. And there's a lot of people that have a thing called ITIN numbers, and they do not have social security numbers when they come to the United States. They work here, they're not legally here, but they've acquired this thing called an ITIN number, and they've been filing their taxes. There's a huge amount of people here with that kind of circumstances, so it's something to look into. But as long as they have an ITIN number and they've filed their taxes and they have a form of income, what we'll do is we'll look at their last months of deposits, which is the last 3 months of deposits. And as long as they can put 3.5% down, I mean, can you imagine 3.5% down for someone that doesn't have a social security number? That's amazing. And as long as their minimum FICO score is 620, they could get into a home. So there's so many people that can't get a home and they want to get a home and they have families and they're paying rent and they're wasting that money. So it's time for you guys to put that social piece out there and let them know that, if you have an ITIN number and you don't have a social security number, you can still buy a home. And then lastly, I want to tell you guys also is that I know commercial is intimidating sometimes, but if you've sold a 4-unit property, selling a 5 to 8 unit property or a mixed use property is not much different than a 1 to 4 unit property. I mean, now if you go into like large, 10, 20, 30, 40 unit properties, I mean, it gets complicated. There's different laws, there's different things that go along with it. But what we do is we follow the same guidelines as a residential loan. With our commercial, we call it AMP Commercial Light because it's 5 to 8 unit properties. And as long as the property cash flows 1-to-1, like meaning like if the payment is $10,000 and the rents are coming in are $10,000 as well, they don't give us any income documentation and they would be able to buy a 5 to 8 unit property. The reason why I bring this up to you guys is that 5 to 8 unit properties are intimidating to our realtors and to clients. And there's a little bit more negotiating room for those properties because there's not as many people bidding against them on them. And this particular program also there's a lot of leniencies that go along with this program because we follow residential guidelines, whereas commercial lending disqualifies the borrower from getting a lot of money. And we've had these conversations with Will and Diana in the past with their clients where, they've gone to a commercial lender and they've gone much lower dollar amounts. And when we compare it to this product, they get much higher dollar amounts. So it's really important to keep in mind that, if somebody that's looking for a 4-unit property, maybe up it to 5-unit property, and then all of a sudden you might get a little bit more traction or capacity to be able to find them a property.
And the cap rates are usually better. It's usually a better investment. I mean, this product is really awesome. And then just to confirm, Marty, these 3 products they're exclusive to Arcstone. These are your products, right?
Correct.
You're not going to find them at Wells Fargo. You're not going to find them anywhere else. These are products that you've created within your company.
Yeah. And I'm sure you guys are all wondering what AMP stands for. It's not like I'm, amped up or anything, but it just means that it's accessible mortgage programs. It does relate to a little bit amped up. We get all amped up when we talk about it over here because we put people in homes with these products. So we want to amp you guys up with it too. So
yeah,
that was like my silly little jokes.
No,
I'm really terrible at jokes.
Yeah. I mean, as you guys can see, Marty is such a wealth of knowledge. We're so lucky because we have Marty speak to us every single Wednesday at 11 o'clock when we have our sales meetings, always giving us updates on what's happening in the market and different products. And it's so important as a realtor to understand that, to make sure that you're helping your clients get the best type of product to get into a situation of purchasing a property and building their own wealth.